All right, Bruno. So Prone one, you're back in it, man. You're getting ready to face off for the finals. Pretty excited about the waves here in Oceanside.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a few horrific heats, to be honest, but this morning it was beautiful conditions. So I managed to pull out my old trusty 10-year-old board and I made it through to the finals. But these young guys are very good, so I couldn't be lazy. I had to do some moves out there.
Hey, Bruno. While we were talking, now we're going to go to lightning strikes twice. I've asked everybody, a number of different people, what's it like when you find yourself in a situation out there in a wave and it's become uncontrollable? Well, you found it. You end up with a spinal cord injury to start off with a T11, and then you crash your board and you end up injuring your neck. That's just crazy.
Yeah, 2 years ago, I cracked the C6 vertebra by hitting the sand while I was in Panama, and that rendered my arms and everything as a quad. And I was busy drowning in the shore break. A guy pulled me out, and it's taken me. I'm still kind of recovering, to be honest. I still feel it, but at least I can still surf now. But it's taken a year and a half to come right. But thank God, my fingers and everything came back.
So some people would say, boy, you got lucky 2 times, but there must be something pretty magic about getting out in those waves, because here you are again. So what is it, Bruno? What drives you back here?
Well, the surf and the friendships we have here. I've been doing this for 10 years, and I have, I'm one of the first guys to have been competing when we were doing it in La Jolla. So I have old friends here from Australia, the Brazilians, South Africans. And funnily enough, one of the South African world champs here, we call him the chicken wing. He's got a funny arm. I was at school with him. His name's Anthony from South Africa. You should interview him. We were at school together. And so when we used to do surfing competitions, we didn't want to surf against him because he's so good. And now we are here 25 years later, or however long it is, and we're surfing in the adaptive para world champs together. So it's quite a big full circle.
Yeah, it's a strange world like that. And speaking of which, I see you're wearing a Challenged Athletes, a CAF hat. We're well knowledged about that program and what it is that they've done for the adaptive athlete. Bruno, it's amazing when you think about the number of different grants that they've given out. How do you approach an organization like that and say, hey, I use a wheelchair, I want to surf? What was their response to you, and how receptive were they to you?
Well, in the beginning, if it wasn't for the Challenged Athletes, I wouldn't have come to the World Champs 10 years ago. I never had any money 10 years ago. And I was told about them from the ISA. And so I just went online and did the forms and got the grant to come out for the first time. And then we got to meet everyone at the Challenged Athletes, and then from there Challenged Athletes has helped. They're an amazing organization. They're incredible, and I'm lucky enough to know the founders, and I've met them and know people that work there, and so I'd say to all athletes, just approach them online and tell them who you are and what you need and what you do, and they help you get back into a social scene as well. Because they have huge events here. And if you're injured and you're sitting at home lonely, you just have to go to one of these events and you make friends and you see people worse off than you. And it's a really great system that they've got going here, which they don't really have in the rest of the world.
I completely get it. When we talked to Bob, that was one of the points we made. Although the organization has raised $191 million over their 30-year history, he emphasized strongly what it means to have everybody be able to get back into a group where they get support and understanding. And not only that, it's not even a sappy thing. It's just they have an opportunity to return to the things they love.
Well, we all get better in society if your most injured members of society are helped and feel like they have a community, and that's what we need to do in the world, to have a better world.
I agree. So Bruno, let's talk surfing. What's your best move? What's the best wave you can ever hope to get? When your wave is coming up, what's it look like, and what do you try and produce out there?
It's just different. In competition surfing, it's a bit different to the way I normally surf. I I've normally surfed quite big waves, quite big barreling waves where you don't do so many huge moves, like it's big bottom turns, big top turns, and quite semi-dangerous. In competitions, the waves are smaller, you need to do quicker moves, and so it's slightly different. But my signature move here, which the young Aussie mentioned, Kai, on his interview, which was really sweet of him. My signature move that people know is putting the arm in the water and doing a big cutback and then doing a big floater, which is floating over the foam and over the top of the wave and then coming down. That gives the points. And that's how I've always won the world champs. So I'll be keeping that back, and I'll probably pull that out tomorrow in the finals.
What does it feel like when something like that happens, when it all comes together, you notch in time and space?
Oh, it's an amazing feeling because you're so nervous when you go out there to start. And, there's a bit of luck involved. Who gets that good wave? And when you're in the right place at the right time and you got the priority and you take off, and that's an amazing feeling when you know you slot in. And when you get a big score and the crowd is screaming and everyone's happy, it makes you feel... It gives a good feeling. But for some, there's some winners and some losers, some tears, some joy. So
my interview with Bruno was briefly interrupted as a surfer collided with one of the pylons supporting the oceanside pier. As lifeguards tended to the injured surfer, the conversation quickly turned to the risks involved in surfing and in all of sports. Why do they take these risks? Why do you take this risk?
I think I've stopped taking risks now that I've become a bit wiser and older. When I was 25 and I was carjacked, ended up in a chair, I didn't really care about life, and I took huge risks. I've crossed the Indian Ocean. I was in the tsunami in Thailand in 2004, alone on a yacht. I didn't really care about life, so whatever I threw myself at, I wasn't scared of failing. If I failed, I didn't care. If I died, no worries. And from there, the risks worked. But there are times, I think, when we have wisdom, when the risks don't work anymore. So I don't take stupid risks anymore. It's more calculated. But I guess when you're surfing next to a pier and I think, I was just saying yesterday, I think sooner or later the pier is going to do a damage to someone properly. And it's real. But everyone chooses their risk, I guess,
Yeah, I know that was pretty emotional for you, man. But, just getting back to your career, you've been around, you've surfed a number of different ways. Favorite place to surf and why?
I mean, I've been blessed. I've surfed all over the world. I've surfed Tahiti. I've surfed all over Indonesia. I used to be a surf charter yacht captain. So I used to run the surf charter yachts up and down the Mentawais before I broke my back. And subsequently, since then, I've surfed all around in Indonesia in a wheelchair. I spent a lot of time in Bali. And I've surfed South Africa. And I would say I have a very favorite wave. It's a place in Bali. It's a left-hand wave that's just a perfect barrel. It used to be a secret. A few of us, 4 or 5 of us, used to surf it. We call it Magics. I call it Toby's. Shout out to Toby. And it's like a machine wave. It's just a perfect machine. Bit scary. It's on reef, but a perfect machine that when you get it, when you learn the wave, it rewards. And there's no piers.